help but feel that Hanamura will suit Order and the way that we've been seeing HEIST play. I could be entirely wrong, but let's see how it plays out. Order going to be starting off on attack since they pick the map. HEIST get to pick the side. What a surprise. Team comps, team comps. At least Quats has a shield, Jordan.
Yeah, well, that's the one change-up dive out for HEIST with the Winston, but Order are going to go into the close spaces, which is not really where HEIST want to chase them. You don't want to go in there against a Reinhardt.
No, just one big hammer and one big shield can really make your day quite difficult. They're not going to go up through the high ground to start things off. There we go. Around the back now to allow them essentially to get in onto the point. It's almost like going through the covers of the shops, Jordan, when it's raining, instead of walking down the street.
Yeah.
But it does take you a little bit longer to get there, so they've invested a lot of time into this first push. So Order will definitely want to try and get something onto the board here, looking for the first pick. Quats taking a bit of damage though, as is Bus. But Quats, the first one down, actually getting picked up there by Jungle Jazz.
Yeah. And
HEIST now finding the advantage.
That's a very big pick as well for HEIST now with no main tank. Makes it so much easier for the rest of HEIST to charge their ultimates up, to pick off these Order players. The contest will continue as Bus charging on forward. He's trying to drive all over them, but this time does get stopped in his tracks by the Brick Eater.
Look, Order's going to be up on 4 ultimates in just a second. HEIST, though, they're getting closer to 5. We'll see how they use this. The rally is popped. Bus low, going to need to use that Primal Rage maybe. No, stays alive for now and jumps onto the back of Merit. Finally gets out of dodge and comes back. Bigger, better, tougher, and well, Winstonier. But for now, it's actually not going to necessarily have any impact, at least in terms of frags. It will, however, push Order back. They're just waiting for this to subside, which it now has. Ooh, maybe this allows them onto the point.
Yeah, Bus needs to be very careful here. I think that's even forced the Transcendence out from Dalsu. Sound Barrier comes down as well, so a double up of support ultimates for HEIST, and that could well be their undoing. It means they have absolutely nothing to keep them alive through that Graviton Surge. The fight starting to fall in the favor of Order now.
This was the area that we thought maybe HEIST was better at before, but now we are on Hanamura, and not so much the case. HEIST surely going to struggle to get back onto the point. They're giving it their all though, and you can see the Bus now back on here as well. He's got another Primal Rage. He literally just had one, Jordan. And during the duration of that previous fight, he manages to get one back. But you can see 3 picks here coming up from Order. They have the ultimate advantage. And now they're going to pick up the point. They're going to pick up the point. They're going to have a lot of ultimates to work with. This is their chance to sort of, you know, just push on through to Objective B and do so very, very quickly.
Us swapping over to Wrecking Ball, however, so maybe we've got a little bit more fancy footwork for us. Yes, Wrecking Ball not too bad on this second point because there is a lot of high ground that you can play with. Quite easy to get pile drivers off. And of course, Order is going to be well grouped up. But what can Wrecking Ball do when they're contesting the high ground? I'm not so sure about that. That's a big shatter as well.
You can see all the HP paths going down. Merit's going to be forced to pop, however.
Bus is literally a non-factor.
Yeah,
there's literally nothing you can do.
Dubois out. This is very quickly going in Order's favor here, Jordan.
Well, one tick not quite secured here just yet for Order. It's on the precipice.
Self-destruct. Not going to find anyone. Graviton Surge going to come out from Order here. Looking to see if they can clean anyone up in that scenario. It's actually Jungle Jazz goes down. Quats throws out a Earth Shatter again. Dowsu's found. They're still on the point, 2/3 of the way through. Grab Surge coming out from high, so they're going to follow up with any damage. The answer is, unfortunately, no. However, the mines are down from Bus. Is this going to be enough?
Yeah, the mine's just in a little bit too late to really do damage through the Graviton Surge. Quat's able to deplete the majority of them, so the mine's, again, a non-factor at this point. HEIST falling by the wayside. Order posting a much, much better offense than what they did on Hollywood. And that is something scary now for HEIST to deal with.
It did take Order a little bit of time to find their feet on Objective A, but once they found it, as we said, they got that ultimate advantage. They used it to push through onto the second objective, and once they got there, they did not leave. Even though it took them a minute or so, they continued to push in. They lasted long enough. They used their ultimates correctly, and unfortunately for HEIST, there was nothing they could really do. So, quite a big time to work with, 3:58. You get 8 minutes total to work with here on this map, so only half the time used. Perfectly capable of rinsing and repeating, I'd suggest, should Order get another shot here, Jordan.
Most definitely. what is the option of choice for HEIST? Because they'll need to post a similar time to make this competitive. If it gets down to 2 minutes or so for HEIST, you'd be thinking, okay, maybe we can cap out first, but capping second is definitely a little bit more of a struggle, which at this point for Order is not necessarily the case. With that 4-minute time bank, you'd be feeling comfortable at least about having a good shot at contesting the second phase of the map.
Yeah.
Well, HEIST right now going back onto fairly default setup. Guzto, one would assume, will swap back over onto D.Va.
Maybe just like Hero starting with D.
Likes D.Va even more.
Yeah, who doesn't? Who doesn't love D.Va even more? That's what I say. D.Va #1 for sure. Okay, HEIST with a bit of work to do here. Let's see how they progress on attack. They struggled for sure on Hollywood on Objective A with control point. This is now 2 control points. Let's see whether this works out in or against their favor. But it is Reinhardt up against Reinhardt. And HEIST is going to go to the left, take the high ground immediately.
A bit of a different strategy than what Order did. It's going to allow them to go through another phase of the map to get close to the point, but still achieves the same result for HEIST.
Well, they're going to try and push in.
Big charge!
Quat's about to go down. Look at that, very, very low. But it's actually Adam who's found out first. Adam at least does manage to find Dowsu as a take back there.
Yeah, Bust has absolutely no fear. That's going to be one tick capped up by HEIST. They won't be disappointed by this just yet, but they are actually at a disadvantage having lost the mech. Big shatter? No, not really.
No,
actually,
not
only
really
hits
at
one.
all. No, and Sound Barrier now from Hunter as well. Going to make life tough here. Quat's going to take out Bust. To me, though, that's probably an advantage for HEIST in this scenario. We'll see whether it plays out that way or not. They do have the closest spawns. They can get back just that little bit quicker. And now with the Sound Barrier coming out from Jungle Jazz, going to put them in prime position. Merit will use the trance, going to do what he can do. But it's only so much here. And now as those support ultimates do subside, means that the Graviton Surge will allow HEIST to clean up the remainder of Order and capture Objective A.
Yeah, definitely worthwhile for Bust there actually to take Quats off the side of the map. Capped up now, and Quats is going to go down. But for Bust there, Quats had a shield from the Sound Barrier, which obviously is negated by him flying off the edge. Also, Bust had already used his Shatter, where Quats had not. So that was a non-factor in the fight then. And it was a 1-for-1 trade that was much, much more favorable for HEIST.
Graviton Surge available here for Jordation. Good use of this would certainly be useful in this kind of scenario. We'll see how it goes with the D.Va. However, need to get out of the way right now. But unfortunately, Jordation goes down with Graviton Surge available. Quats is low as well. Almost, but it's Merit going to use the trance just to keep the team alive. Shadow comes through, only finds Yuki, but hey, if you can get rid of a brick, they'll take that any day of the week. Hunter
just a little bit too late with the Sound Barrier to save Yuki there. It was a very near thing, but in the end, does give HEIST the player advantage. There's no shield right now.
But
there's a Sound Barrier.
Yeah, that may have been enough to do it, and that was a very good Earth Shatter coming out from Order as well. Can they follow up with the damage? Well, they have Yuki here on the Doomfist. We know how difficult Doomfist is to deal with. Bust getting low as well. He did have the orb on him, but as soon as Merit goes, as soon as, well, he gets out of sight, I guess, it doesn't even make a difference. HEIST doing what they can, and Gusto, Jordan, he's going to find 3. Is this enough?
Well, I might have miscalled the 2-man kill from Gusto on Hollywood, but this time he definitely had no backup. That was just him with the self-destruct, making magic happen. Only 2% left, a 1.5 really here for HEIST. Merit contesting in the Transcendence, but that won't last for too long, and Merit's now down to a 1-shot. No one can finish him off. Eventually, Bust getting the job done with a Fire Strike.
Yep.
But HEIST are going to post potentially even a better time than what Order did.
It's going to be very close, but it looks very much doable here for HEIST. You can see the trickle coming through from Order, but they don't have much to work with. It's only May in the Cryo Freeze sitting there waiting. Jordation, please. Jordation, please. There we go. Yuki's still on the Doomfist. He does have the Meteor Strike, but Meteor Strike does not hold the point.
No, it does not, and it doesn't even contest the point as you're coming down for the landing. It's a little bit something that you need to be aware of if you're going to be playing Doomfist, but that's a very nice time posted by HEIST, 4 minutes 24. Very fast take on the first cap, and that really gives them a little bit of extra time taking the second than what Order had to play with. So we'll actually get to see Order attacking first here, which is not what we would have expected after seeing that first half. No one seems to be able to defend right now. here on Hanamura. Jordation going down to Gusto's self-destruct at the very start with the Graviton Surge. That might have been the difference. If he would have got that grab off.
See how crucial both Zarya and D.Va are in this GOATS composition. I guess in any composition, but still, when you've got those tanks to deal with, it's far easier to eliminate them if you can just wipe them off the face of the map in one go.
Yeah, exactly. That's really how you get the win here against the GOATS comp. Because getting little bits of tickle damage is not really all that impactful. That's why we don't see Soldier in the meta so much anymore. Same with Tracer, for example. You're not able to have an impact because there's so much heals that it just gets healed up straight away before it even really has any kind of thought in the mind of the tank. So you need that one shot.
Or they're going to come out on attack to start things off since they have less time to work with than HEIST. We thought the 358 was a lot. Well, HEIST have 424, so certainly with a little bit of an advantage right now. This time they're not wasting any time going through the high ground, Jordan. Order straight onto the point, straight behind that shield. And Quats is very, very low, but so is Bust.
Yeah, Bust getting a bit of help here, but it's a 1-for-1. Reinhardt down for Reinhardt down. Still favorable for the attacking side as Merit does get the D-Mech onto Gusto. They'll also have the faster respawns, the faster trickle back into this position. And at the moment, it doesn't even look like they're going to need a trickle in as Order cleanly wiping the fight. Bust back over onto the Wrecking Ball.
Now this puts HEIST in quite a difficult position. Order going to capture the first objective immediately, their first push into the point. And now as they go through, Merit is going to have that trance available. Yuki is going to have Rally available as well. At least Dowsu has something to work with. But that's all that HEIST have in their pocket for now. And Order going to trying to make the most of this. They can capture this very quickly. Going to put them in a much better position than they were after the first rounds were completed. Bus, I'm just waiting for the big plays.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be able to make it work here. It didn't really work last time for him. But Order have already found the pick onto Locust, no less. A very big one indeed.
Yeah, look, Gusto, he's going to get found out as well. The Wrecking Ball doing what he can, but there's only so much Bust can do in this scenario. Almost all of Order on fire. Adam with the self-destruct. Here he comes in, Bust back onto the point. Pole driver with the shield. Bust going to go down in just a second, surely. Graviton Surge comes out. No one's even on the point. Yeah,
they got grabbed off the point.
Perfect play from Jordation.
That's huge.
And Adam.
And Adam finishes them off as well. I got to say, I think for Bust, you kind of need to shelve the Wrecking Ball here on the second point of the map. I can see the idea. I can understand why he wants to go for that, but Order's playing around it so well by taking that high ground. There's really nothing that the Wrecking Ball can do. Yeah, you can get a pile driver actually up on that high ground, but you're going to get deleted straight away when you're in that kind of a close range without the backup. Order, they go straight down the stairs. They're bullying the supports, and you see, what is Bust doing at that point? He's still trying to set up a pile driver.
He can't get in. The fight is actually going on away from him, an area that he can't get to.
Well, I mean, he can get there, but if he is there, his effectiveness is severely reduced. So I think, you know, even a Reinhardt in that situation is going to be much more useful for HEIST in that sense. But we'll see if they're even going to have an opportunity to bull it out again on the defense, because, again, what they're going to need to do, Ben, here is cap out twice.
Yes. So that
and with good time.
So they had 3 minutes, 58? And they would have got 30 seconds after capturing the first objective. So really only taking 2.5 minutes there to get through. So pretty impressive time.
Faster than their initial attack.
By far. Now 4 minutes, 24 seconds on the clock here for HEIST. Again, 30 seconds if they capture the first objective. To be fair, they did it in their first shot the first time around. It just took them a little while.
All right, let's see what HEIST can do here. Again, pressure on them now. The ebb and flow of this game has been quite interesting to watch. Bust leading the charge. Once again, it'll be the same idea from HEIST.
Will it work the first time around, I suppose? Going to try and make it work 2 from 2. But look at this. This time, Order aren't going to try and fight on the point. They're pushing all the way out. Going to try and hold it nice and far.
Yeah, but HEIST have wrapped around.
Yeah,
it's the double fake.
Play. What's the double fake? They come all the way back around the other side. But it's Bust going to go down first, and that should end this attack. Nip it in the bud. They need to drop back very quickly.
Oh, look at all the charge that Jordation is getting off of this. He's up to 60%. That's not a great start for HEIST at all. When you are trying to cap out so quickly on Hanamura, it needs to be clean. You need to get that first point in the first push and probably the second in the first push as well. Not going to be an option now for HEIST. The odds are starting to mount against them here on Hanamura. Even though they still have a lot of time to work with, they've fed a lot of ult charge over to Order, and now it's much more difficult.
They're going to try it again. They are starting to run out of time, however. Still 3 minutes to work with, but it's going to be their final attempt. That could be the struggle if they are successful. You can see ultimates, at least in the favor of Order for now. Of course, that Graviton Surge as well. You'd think surely would be countered by Dowsu, who pops the trance immediately.
Yeah, Merit with the counter trance a little bit later. That's going to give an advantage over to Order. Now a grab comes out again. Yeah. Nothing to defend against it. Adam, 2 with the self-destruct.
Perfect timing. Great work. Soon as Dowsu's trance had ended, or just as it was about to end, you throw out the grab, clean them up. They've got no support ultimates to work with. Jungle Jazz still hasn't earned his. And now with 2 minutes 20 on the clock, yeah, HEIST are going to give this one another burl. But Objective A is looking hard. Objective B is looking almost unreachable right now.
I would agree, Ben. But HEIST now have some ultimates to work with of their own. Fast with the Earth Shadow. He'll block Quatz's. That's a good start.
They got the sound barrier. Maybe this is an opportunity.
Oh.
Quat's going to go down straight away. Great pick coming out from Gusto. A lot of teamwork going into that one. Merit doing what he can here on the Zenyatta, but as much as he's a DPS god, he's still only an Omnic support. So there's only so much he can achieve. Adam's gone. Loca's doing a lot of work. You can see Loca's up to 90% energy as well. They're just really using up time right now. It's a bit of time. They'll take what they can get. And look, to be fair, Order do have a lot of time in their back pocket. I'm still not sure that HEIST can capture Objective B, though.
In a minute 48, it's possible. They want to make sure that they do it before overtime starts to tick away. Otherwise, Order will get an attack and HEIST will not. So that's very important for HEIST and also something for Order to consider. Not really a whole lot to push through with right now for HEIST. No game-breaking ultimates or map-breaking ultimates here.
Going to fight here on the high ground, Jordan. And yeah, the trance going to come out here from Dowsu.
Trance will get you into position, but it won't win you the fight.
Yeah, Bust is about to get this Earth Shadow, so let's just see how this plays out. Looking for a big one. It is now available. Jordation has a Graviton Surge to use, and well, Merit can try and prevent all of the damage as well with his trance.
Shadow definitely can win you the fight.
Yeah, looking for one good big push here. There
That's
we go.
A huge shatter.
It is a massive shatter, but it is countered by the Graviton Surge, and Merit there with the trance. This may be enough to get Order the victory. Jordation's been picked up. Self-destruct comes through from Adam looking for the pick, as has HEIST. Not going to find any kills, however. It's Yuki who finds 2. And look, Order looking unbeatable here on Objective B.
Goodness me, well, it was a good attempt from HEIST, but now with 28 seconds, there is no chance for HEIST to get this done before overtime. They want to get it done at the very least so that they can try and make a draw out of this map, and that would still win them the series. There's still a lot to play for here for both Order and HEIST.
It's almost unthinkable at this point, though, that Order wouldn't be able to win here on Hanamura. This is going to be one last attempt coming out from HEIST. Dowsu going to pop the trance. One would think very shortly, but he's on the ground. He's nowhere near the team. He's going to have to pop it and get back into them very, very quickly. There we go. Trance does come out, but Bus has gone down. It's too little, too late. Dubois found out as well. Quat charges through onto him. And the rest of the team going to clean them up.
Yeah, not sure what happened there for Dowsu getting knocked down. He must have been knocked down by someone, but that is really unfortunate for HEIST. That Transcendence was what would have kept them alive in that fight and would have kept Bust alive, would have given HEIST a chance. In the end, though, Order able to post 2 super solid attacking times and then 1 super solid defense. That's enough for them to get the better of HEIST today on Hanamura. Still only puts them at 1 map victory, though, Ben. It's not the end of the series just yet. It's not the end of the series for HEIST, nor is it for Order. So this final map is going to be a bit of a good one.
Well, there's a lot of work to be done here by Order. I'm glad to see they're sort of waking up today. A little bit early maybe for them, and getting into, I suppose, finding their mojo a little bit, but they'll have at least one more map to go. There were moments of greatness here from both teams, but Order definitely looking the better of the two. Very impressive on attack. You can see just how well they took advantage of when they were in a better position, where they had the ultimates, where they captured the first objective and needed to come through and really just roll through, particularly the second time around.
Yeah, Order just a little bit better there on Hanamura. Some of their magic was lost, I think, for Heist. A lot of their pushes, they had the tools to work with. They had everything that they needed. Even Bust there, a great Earth Shatter, but obviously not enough of a follow-up. The grab was good from Jordation. The Transcendence good from Merit, keeping everyone alive there on Order.
Yep.
So there are still moments here for Heist that we're seeing that little individual brilliance come out, but just not quite enough that time on Hanamura. Maybe not quite enough of the Wrecking Ball from Bus.
Maybe a little bit too much of the
Maybe a little bit
ball.
too much on the defense. I'll have a talk to Bus after this.
Oh, yeah,
and
you got to sit him down?
Yeah, I'll talk to him and be like, listen, mate, what's going on there?
What's the deal?
What's going on?
And he's like, look, Jordan, you're like gold whatever.
I'm actually diamond now, Ben. Quite solidly in diamond as well.
Solidly in diamond.
No longer a plat caster for everyone there in the chat.
Glad you found someone to carry you. Anyway.
No, mate, solo queue all the way. But look, I want to know what the thought process is there for Bus. And I can understand what he's trying to get done actually on Hanamura second with the Wrecking Ball. But I kind of think it might not have been ideal in that sense. Like, it could have worked. But I think if it was to work, it would have been on Order sort of misplaying it a little bit, playing it on the point. And I think Order played around it very well.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. Well, the result speaks for itself. Now, the score is 2-1 as we head into map number 4. This one going to be picked by Heist, and they are picking Route 66. John, I literally feel like we are playing the same maps over and over here. Route 66 has been picked almost every time so far.
I like Route 66. It's a good one to watch. There's a lot of variety in the map. There's a lot of higher ground that you can play with. So
there's a lot of high noon.
You do get to see a bit of a different sort of a team composition every now and then when it does come to Route 66. Again, we might be able to see the Farah out here from Duboy. It was something that he was very well known for last season, coming into Contenders as this first season. That was essentially a pocket pick for him. For Order, Yuki definitely could pick up the Farah here as well. We're most likely going to see just the Winston Goats composition come out again from both sides, but I do like the variety that Route 66 does allow for you.
For me, after seeing how impressive Heist were on Hollywood when it came to the payload, I can't help but feel now we're on an Escort map, now we're on Route 66, that this is their time to shine. Even though they managed to find 2 maps, this is the map where they have real potential to hammer that final nail into the Order coffin, pick it up 3-1, have a great result for the scoreboard, and really shake things up here in Group B. Yeah,
I mean, that would be such a massive result for Heist if they were able to do that. And really would throw Group B into disarray. We'll have to think about that if we do get there. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves just yet. Order well within the realms of possibility to secure a reverse sweep today against Heist. We know the caliber of players on this roster.
Look at this. One team has a Winston, one has a Reinhardt. Let's see which one plays out better for now. It's going to be the Reinhardt because Bus, Duboy all going down very, very quickly there. Quad's picked up. We'll see how quick the respawns come in here for Heist.
Too bad actually for Heist. Their respawns are going to be very, very fast. It's going to take Quats a long time to get back here. So for now, Heist have got a 5v6. They need to make use of this small window of advantage. You can see Order trying to negate that as much as possible by backing away. Not going to give anything over to Heist. They know the win condition of Heist as well as Heist does themselves.
It was actually a really good pick, to be fair, coming up from Heist. And we'll see what it makes this time around. But Order going to play this smart. They're going to go back through underground, through the tunnel, and come back in from behind. It's going to cause a bit of a difficulty here for Heist as Bus goes down first once again.
Merit down now this time, though. Still the trade's favouring Order.
And this time around, they have not managed to find the Reinhardt in a retaliation. So
yeah, but again, Merit is actually going to get back to the fight even slower than what a Reinhardt would do. As a Zenyatta, you don't have any way to increase your mobility.
Yeah, you do, mate. You hit Q.
Yeah. Well, Merit, Q to get to the fight faster. That might be an idea. Spoken like a true gold, Ben.
Just play Diva 24/7. Number 1 hero in the game. Let's try this again. They'll be looking for Quats. Nice Earth Shatter comes through along with the Graviton Surge and just self-destruct. Order throwing a lot into this fight. All they found is the DMAC onto Gusto.
That's enough, though. That's enough to push them back. And in fact, it's probably worse than even finding the kill onto Gusto, because it means he's going to have to reset himself.
At least he can just jump off.
Yeah, but even more of a stagger.
All right, look at this. HEIST, they've stacked the advantage now, Jordan. This is the fight that they need to win, that they probably should win. And need to get that payload moving towards objective A. Order have been doing pretty well so far. Let's see how they choose to fight out this particular battle one, where they're probably feeling they do not have the upper hand. Locust pushing a long way forward, has the Graviton Surge available. Let's see if he can use it without it getting gobbled up here, however, by Adam.
So crucial that it doesn't get eaten. Locust, so much pressure on him right now.
Waiting. That shield very low as well. Throws it in, captures everyone. The shield is nowhere to be seen either. There we go, pops it back up. Actually doesn't manage to follow up with any sort of real damage. Order are falling back, Jordan. So they've got Unta and they've got Merit. Both have used their support ultimates now to keep the team alive. Jordation and Quats both have ultimates available of their own. But Bus is the Primal Rage, waiting for that one to come through. Looking low, needs to use it now, does use it just in the nick of time. Yuki has found Duboy and Bus goes down. HEIST lose their advantage.
Yeah, that didn't even require the Graviton Surge out from Jordation. That was still in the back pocket. Same for Adam with the self-destruct. Order's definitely posting a very strong defense right now. HEIST have got one more opportunity to cap point A. And if they don't do that, we're looking at a fifth map. If they're not able to cap point A out right now, you'd have to expect Order should be able to push through better than what HEIST have done. So last chance now for HEIST to close the series out here, I think at least. Who's to say they can't do the same on the defense? Well, me, at least.
I don't think it's their time to shine on defense, to be perfectly honest. Not when the payload is where it's at. Order sitting pretty here with 3 ultimates in their pocket, ready to go. Jordation still has not used that grab surge. Throws it out. No, it's going the other way. Still holding on to his. Everyone stays alive. Look at this. They do not have the damage to follow up.
Jordations was eaten.
Oh my goodness. The self-destruct still comes through and does find Locust. Trance available and used here by Dowsu. You can see HEIST now starting to get a couple of kills if they can find one more. Big Earth Shatter, that should be the fight. Unta goes down, Jordation goes down, Yuki goes down, Merit is going to go down. And they're going to be able to sit on the payload and push it through as the pause comes out.
No way!
Wow.
That's the worst possible timing.
Wow.
Gusto though, nicely done. That's another huge grav eat. That actually is enough to allow them to push through now into point A. Obviously a pretty decent shatter down from Bus, but to be fair, I think it was Gusto that kept them alive there. If the Graviton Surge connected, it was probably done and dusted for HEIST. They didn't really have much past that to sort of defend against the Grav Surge. So for me right now, HEIST, well, they're giving themselves a second chance. Are they the cat with 9 lives, or is this going to be their last chance?
They've used up a few of them so far today. They do have a couple left, however.
What have we been saying? When they're at a disadvantage, it's very tough for HEIST to get back into it. But when they get the ball rolling, when they have the momentum, when they have the advantage, it seems like HEIST are really able to roll all the way through. So they might still yet be able to push all the way through the entire map.
That's half the game, Jordan. Playing when you're in an advantage, using that economy correctly is a crucial part of the game. If they can find the first part, they're going to be sitting pretty by the end of the season.
You need to get that swing when it really matters, and that's what it has occurred right now for HEIST.
All right, we back.
On pause. Perfect timing here for HEIST to be able to push on through. Looking at what they have in their back pocket, not a whole lot. Just the sound barrier here for Jungle Jazz. You can see at the moment Bust is just pushed forward, making sure that no one from Order is going to be recontesting the point. HEIST will cap it up uncontested, but how do they get through this next phase of the map? Well, they're going to have to take a dry push here, try and waste some of Order's ultimates, and build their own up. Jungle Jazz probably can expend the sound barrier, but aside from that, they're not going to have anything.
Bust charges through immediately, but he's found out by Jordation. Sound barrier from Jungle Jazz.
Too late on the sound barrier to save Bust. And in the end, it was a wasted sound barrier.
It feels like maybe that's... I'm not going to say that's 2 from 2, because Jungle Jazz has had a number of good sound barriers so far in this match, but there's been a couple that just a little bit late. The timing's off, the beat matching's not there. It's like ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. As a DJ, you'd think that the Lucio would know when to drop the beat.
Let's not get into the DJ discussion, Ben. We've heard all about that before. HEIST this time again looking for a fairly inexpensive fight win. That would be ideal for them in continuing this push through the map, but right now they would love a fight win in general.
They would indeed. Look, the payload's pushing forward. Order are dropping back, waiting for Quats to come through. Here he is. Quats, though, very low. Merit's going to be forced to use the trance to keep them alive. Self-destruct in the middle. Who's going down? The answer is Bus. When the Earth Shatter comes out, you don't have a Ryan to deal with. Makes life tough. Self-destruct on the flip side isn't going to find any kills. In order going to stop the payload with 1 minute on the clock.
Very nicely blocked there by Quants. Right in the thick of things was that self-destruct. But in the end, Order will survive. And HEIST, they threw a lot in there.
Yeah. They
threw in the grab combo. This time, with only 49 seconds left on the clock, maybe 2 more pushes available to them. Dalsu needs some heals here. He'll get them.
Yeah,
I think only 1 push realistically for HEIST. They need to make this one work.
His payload has not gone far at all, Jordan. You almost get to this point for free in the second phase here on Route 66. But Yuki goes down, and that one wasn't for free. Locust doing work. Locust up at 90% energy as well.
Brig with Rally as well, Ben. That's now down in this fight. Could play a big part. Ultimate's coming up online for HEIST. Shatter is down.
What is it with this HEIST roster and pulling victory out of the claws of defeat?
I don't know. They like to live life on the edge by the looks of things, Ben, but it's not a victory just yet. This is still teetering on the precipice. If Order can clean up with this next fight, which they will have before HEIST is able to camp out point B, it's still a very solid defense, but continuing on.
I'm waiting for an epic self-destruct here from Gusto.
The overtime push.
Probably not going to have grab available in time for this fight to commence.
Gusto has been very solid with the Diva today.
Yeah. Looking for the perfect timing here, Elfishguy. Looking for the great engage.
Oh, huge.
And it's Quats who's down. That is big. That also means now if they do use the self-destruct, there is no big shield to work with. Trance is forced out. Adam's doing what he can, but he is low. Locust doing a ton of damage, still hasn't used his Graviton Surge. Is this going to be enough from Adam? Is this going to take them out? Jungle Jazz, Locust, both removed. Those are big, big picks here for Order.
Oh, Hunter goes down, the D-Mech onto Adam. There's still a chance here for HEIST, but right now, the respawn timers are pretty much even. Shatter down from behind. Quats got behind them.
How? Did he come like over the top?
Yes, he came from the high ground, drops behind them. That'll be enough. Nice play out from Quats. Jungle Jazz won't even be able to secure the overtime. So he gets stuck for a little bit, but you got to say as HEIST, I think you're probably happy with that based on how the start of this map did actually go.
Happy on how they were 2.5 minutes ago. Probably not happy with how they were 5 minutes ago.
All in all, though, that is still a winnable position for HEIST. Order at this point, it's also winnable for them, but for HEIST, like, you got to think if they can hold Big Earls, if they can hold aggressively like what Order was able to do, you know, before it even gets to Big Earls, that's where Order are going to potentially be under some pressure themselves.
I'm concerned that there's a serious possibility for HEIST here that Order are going to be able to get it to the first objective before HEIST really sort of found their footing. Order, obviously such a strong team. Their players are very, very talented, and I would expect them to be right now going, look, we probably can't afford to go down to this team. Let's bring this reverse sweep in. Let's go to map number 5. We can win on Control again. We can win here on Route 66.
I'll be in the back of the minds for both teams. Route 66, if it does go the way of Order, will push us through to Nepal. That was a 2-0 for HEIST on Ilios in our first Control map of the series. So lends a bit of credence perhaps towards the fact that HEIST will be feeling at least comfortable enough heading into that tiebreaker map. But it would be off the back of 2 map wins for Order. A lot of momentum shifting in that case.
It has indeed. Has indeed. Both teams playing very well today. Actually, some very exciting rounds here between HEIST and Order. But it's all now coming down to this. We'll see what Order can do. At this point, you kind of have to favour Order. I'd like to think that they should probably be able to find the victory here. But let's see what HEIST can do on defense. Order going to take the high ground immediately, but they don't have the payload yet.
Yeah, but again, I always talk about it. Letting the Zenyatta set up on that high ground, always dangerous. Merit is low. Dalsu trying to deal with him. Merit's a one-shot. If Dalsu connects even one more, that could be the fight one for HEIST to begin with.
Quats low. Yeah, Bus low as well, to be fair, as is Gusto.
Everyone low on HEIST.
And as Duboy going to go down first, Jordation going to find that pick. That's going to start the snowball effect here. It's kind of like having Widows versing each other, Jordan, except they're not Widows, they're Zenyatas.
Yeah. In the end, it's going to go the way of water, so they will start to push on up a little bit earlier than what HEIST was able to do, but that's just one step of many in getting the map win here on Route 66. While it wasn't the most imposing attack from HEIST, there are still multiple opportunities, multiple positions where they can hold Order at bay. They'll definitely get at least one more hold here, and if Jordation and Unter get picked off, that is going to be dangerous indeed. Bus charging forward, won't connect.
Well, not indeed. Order with the momentum right now. Nice little Earth Shatter, only finds Duboy. I thought Duboy was going down, but not the case. Self-destruct coming through the shield. Going to be held up there by Reinhardt. And, well, Order are going to find a couple of key picks, and that should get them rolling once again. They'll follow that up with a number of kills. And as I said, was at least for HEIST concerned, they were not going to be able to hold the payload really before it got to the first objective. For Order, looking very strong right now. This is precisely what they need to be doing now. They're in a very strong position. Yeah, definitely looking a little bit problematic right now for HEIST. Remember, they did have a very solid defense on Hollywood in the second phase of the map. And that's what they're going to need to do again here on Route 66. Yeah, they're going to have to pull something out. Look, they've got the advantage in terms of ultimates. Let's see how they choose to use them. And that is not a great start. Graviton Surge is Graviton see you later as it gets eaten up there by the D.Va. And Order, they're the ones taking advantage right here. Even though HEIST had the ultimates, it's Order who are finding the kills. Yeah, I think Locust just signaling his intentions a little bit too much there, standing right next to the wall. And Adam very, very well aware of it. Adam has certainly stepped up quite a lot today for Order. Not that he didn't last week either. There is going to be only one more attempt at a defense here for HEIST. If it goes wrong, that is going to be done. 3 minutes 44 still on the clock here for Order, so plenty of time to work with. And Bus and Dalsu, it's their time to shine now for HEIST. They need to do something here, Jordan. Otherwise, we are back to control. We're over to Nepal at 2 apiece. And look, it's looking very, very likely at this point in time. The payload only needs to go another 15 meters, and at this point it seems inevitable. Earthshatter
blocked by the shield.
One last hope. Earthshatter really not going to do the job. Trance is used by HEIST on defense, but Order still with 3, almost 4 ultimates available. This Graviton Surge isn't going to miss along with that self-destruct, and, well, that should be it. I want to say Jordation with those Zaya bubbles, able to put in so much work for his team in that last fight. Quads didn't have the shield up, but Jordation was able to get 2 bubbles down, 1 on himself, 1 on a teammate, and that more or less blocked the entire Earth Shatter. And that'll be it. HEIST will not be able to get a good contest here. Bus with the Wrecking Ball. Maybe he can do it again. Maybe he can pull off the HEIST once more. But it doesn't look like that is going to be the case, as Order will cap out and will force us through to our final map. It's almost like an entirely different team here from Order. They definitely, Jordan, went on a Macca's run at halftime. No doubt. Double quarter pounder, sweet chili sauce,
Order up.
frozen Coke. Easy.
Yeah, okay. Well, now
that would get me
a little bit to think about here as we move on to Nepal. Route 66, again, a very solid victory there for Order. So, like you said, it feels like the tale of two halves. This
is what I expected the result to be. These matches where Order really are head and shoulders above HEIST.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what we expected, Ben. The individuals stepping up here for Order. We saw a very nice eat there from Adam. We've seen some good, solid play out from Quartz on the Reinhardt. Individually speaking, it seems like they've got the better of HEIST at this point.
Yeah.
I think Dalsu and Merit has been quite an interesting little skirmish in itself when we've been able to see those two players. They seem to, in a sense, almost ignore their teammates at times and try to deal with each other. And it has been very, very cool to watch.
Look at that. That really sort of summed it up, and that was the end of the end. Really.
Well, this as well. Look at this. Look at how signaled this is for Adam. Locust running forward straight away into a wall like that. If you see Azaya doing that, you know that they're going to be throwing the grav out. And
hold
Adam,
the right click, D.Va. Hold the right click.
Yeah. So now we're on to Nepal, and it's anyone's game. I mean, it comes down to this best of one.
You say it's anyone's game, but I'm suggesting that it's maybe Order's game.
I think it's Order's. HEIST got the 2-0. To be fair, it was a fairly close 2-0.
Yeah.
99 apiece.
Yeah, it was a close 2-0 that was like an hour ago. Clearly, these are two different teams right now.
Yeah, I mean, but who's to say they can't come back into it?
I'm ready for it. I'm ready for Heist.
I'm ready for Heist.
We're ready. Let's
Heist
go.
have already won a 3-2.
Yeah.
They're already an overtime victor team.
Go for it.
Maybe they're going to do the Serenity, but swap it around. Serenity losing 2-3, 2-3, 2-3 in Season 2. Maybe Heist can win 3-2, 3-2, 3-2. Who knows?
It's certainly a lot better than losing, that's for sure. But I can't help but feel that the caliber of this order lineup will be enough.
At the end of the day, Heist have already achieved something out of this matchup, taking 2 maps away from Order.
We said 1 map.
Yeah, exactly. If you get 1 map, you're going to be happy against Order. Getting 2 maps against Order as Heist, that's phenomenal. But really going to put the pressure now on Melbourne Mavericks. Let's say, in this case, Order does win this series. Yep. They're able to get the 3-2. That really puts the pressure then onto Melbourne Mavericks to not only A, beat Heist, but B, also be able to get a couple of map victories over Order to really keep that map win-loss in check. And at the moment, it's still up in the air whether or not this is going to go the way of Order. I would agree with you,
What do you reckon?
Ben.
What's the score here on Nepal? We have 1 map left. Who's winning? What's the score?
I think it definitely goes to 2-1, surely, whichever way it does go. I'm going to throw my hat in the ring with Heist here. I think they looked pretty good when it did come to Ilios. They just need to make sure that they're actually able to win those initial fights a little bit more safely than what they had been. I mean, they didn't win any, actually, on Ilios, so they need to win initial fights. But like I said, when they had the advantage on Ilios, it never really seemed like they were going to drop it. So for Order, I think it's key to start off with a fight win, get that momentum rolling on any individual round.
So you're saying 2-1 to Heist?
Sure, let's go with 2-1 to Heist.
I'm going 2-0 to Order. Even though I was on the Heist hype train, or the Heist train, maybe. I was on the Heist train earlier on, because they did start off very well. Can't see them defeating Order in this scenario now, even though they did win the first time around on Control.
Dive Goats up against Reinhardt, so maybe not so comfortable here for Heist in this sense.
Boy, so low to start things off. You see Bust even low as well. And
That's
Order,
not the fight you want to take.
No. Order absolutely steamrolling Heist.
When you're up against a Reinhardt and you are a Winston, you need to be getting on top of the squishy targets, not using your Tesla cannon against the Reinhardt. So Bust has decided better of it, and he swapped over himself. But look at the ult charge that has given over to Order. Much tempo the way of them. And this is exactly how it started off on Ilios.
It is indeed.
Heist losing the first fight, giving a lot of control to Order, but then somehow being able to bring it back when they had the advantages of their own. This time, no advantages, no ultimates for either side just yet, but they'll come up for Order in this fight.
Or they're going to sort of death ball their way around the side and back onto the point, and almost going to capture it very, very close, up to 95% there, before Order realize what is going on and get back on, and it's going to cost
Shut it down from Quads.
Heist immediately as Order roll back over them once more. They lose, what, nothing? Adam.
Well, that's a pretty expected result, really, for Order in that sense. They had the ultimate advantage. They had the positional advantage. There wasn't much that Heist could really do about it, but it has allowed Locust to almost get the grab up. A little bit to play with in this one for Heist. They're trying to be a little bit sneaky by the looks of things, crouching down, not trying to give away their position from footsteps. Not sure that that's going to necessarily work out. Order's not going to be under any pressure at all. Plus, the temptation to charge here.
Is just, I just want to get shift, Jordan. That's all I want to do in this scenario. He's going to drop down though. Someone needs to get onto the point, and you actually say the shield is gone, which means Bus is gone. And again, Order going to come through. Now we're at the point. This is where we were. We've seen this rinse and repeat on the first map on Ilios. Now Heist have found themselves this advantage. They've got the ultimates to work with.
This is where Heist is able to turn it around. If they can turn it around, then perhaps they have a chance of still winning this map. Up to 86%, they are going to be pressured against the time to get onto the camp, but with a Lucio, that should be no problems. Everything needs to be thrown in here now by Heist, though.
They do indeed. One last shot. They've won this time and time again, but now Order has woken up, and I am not so sure that this is doable here for Heist. Earthshatter comes through from Quats, not really finding what he needs, but Bus is low. Jiaosu does trance it up just to keep the team alive. Again. Graviton Surge does not work out. Self-destruct into the corner. That's a big one. This one could be even bigger. No, it's only Gusto to go down. They're duking it out, and Heist got so close. It does not get any closer than this to bring it back around. It's a one-for-one trade. Jordation working so well to pick up 2 of the supports. And the objective going in the favor of Order, even though it looked like there were players about to get on the point.
That is insane from Adam. Again, another huge grav eat. Locust, he needs to be holding off. He needs to be a little bit smarter with these graviton surges because Adam is reading him like a book. And so many of these maps even are starting to be dictated by the grav combos that if you can't get that grav combo off as Heist in a situation like that, you're not going to be able to win that fight. And that's exactly what we saw evidenced. 100% to 0 for Order. What a statement to start things off here on Nepal.
It was literally what we saw on Ilios twice, except in that scenario, when Heist got the advantage, they managed to push it through for the rest of the game. They caught it over, and then they played some great Overwatch. In this scenario, Order's not letting them do that anymore. Order are not making the mistakes we saw from them earlier on today.
Reverse sweep incoming perhaps from Order.
Almost certainly. Prove me wrong, Heist. I dare you.
Yeah, that would be a sight to behold. Jordation starting off again on Zaya. Very, very charged up. Running straight into Heist, who seem to again want to run bust on the Winston.
There we go. Dubois coming out real big. And well, Heist starting it off very differently to before.
Yep.
This is exactly what they need to be doing. Adam about to get demeched as well. Merit down. That means that Heist will be able to capture first point here.
Those are two key kills against the GOATS composition. Main tank down, Brigitte down. If you can even get one of those, it almost signals the fight won. But for Heist, they're able to get both. Now they start off with the advantage, which is not something that they would necessarily be used to here on Control. In fact, the first out of the 4 Control rounds that we've seen, where they have won the first fight.
Yep. Let's see what they can do. How can they push this advantage? Bus building up charge up to 76%. Going to see Order drop down through the little hidey hole, come back out onto the point.
Not sure if this is going to be too enjoyable.
Yeah, well, we'll see how they come through now. Actually come out the left-hand side. That's a little bit safer even again. But you can see, Quats is gone. Got way too into the music and dances himself off the edge with the help of Jungle Jazz. And this is what Heist needs to be doing now, up to 40%. They still have the advantage. They still have all these ultimates to work with.
Yeah, you can see what a big advantage winning the first fight can give you. The snowball effect on a Control map is astronomical, more so than any other map. And Heist have everything to play with here, really, except for the grab.
Yeah.
But Order have a lot as well, so here's a chance for Order to come back in.
Coming through from Heist, looking for some kills, not going to find them. Jungle Jazz low, Locust low as well, but Bust! Actually, that Graviton Surge not half bad from Jordation on the way down.
I don't know, maybe that was a bit of a panic grab. You're right, it wasn't too bad. But nothing really followed up there by Order, and in the end, it's going to be a grab that really results in not a whole lot. The player being cheeky on the point.
Oh, man. Is this going to be a 100 to 0 to Heist?
It does seem like it at this point.
That is pretty impressive for sure. If we end up going to Shrine, if it all comes down to this again, which is what we saw last week, that'll be a very enjoyable first game of the day, that is for sure. We love to entertain here. Contenders Australia, Elfishguy.
That's a good grab. Sucks all of them away from the point. They may not even be able to touch. In fact, it does just fade at the right time. Still a chance here for Order.
Just enough time, that is for sure. But the health, it's Heist with the HP. Jordation goes down. They find the next pick, Jordan. This will be it. We're waiting to see whether Quat stays alive or not. He's found Dubois. That's a 1-for-1 trade. But Dowsu going to come in with the trance, as does Merit. Not sure which one fades first. I think maybe it's Merit. He's going to get bopped off there by Jungle Jazz, and looking to me like maybe Heist are going to be able to bring this one across to them and make it 1-1.
I would have to agree, Ben, at this point. Does not seem like Order is going to be able to make this one work. They do have numbers on, but the Graviton Surge comes across. There is Gusto, the self-destruct, not really achieving too much there.
Almost.
But okay, he's got leap available.
Still alive. Goes down now, as does Quats. Dubois the last hope here. And as it looked, Jordan, like maybe Heist was going to 100 to 0. Now, it's looking like Order are going to bring it back, at least for the moment.
The swap onto Tracer there from Dubois, a desperate attempt to get back to the point faster, but we won't see that last for too long. Not against a Brigitte and a McCree. So tough to play Tracer in the current meta, so we're back to standard for Heist at least.
Yeah.
Order with Jordation on McCree is a little bit of a curveball here for Heist, and how they're going to deal with it, we will have to see.
Going to force themselves in. The charge does come through from Order, and it's Jordation who finds one to start this one off. Jungle Jazz is down. You can see the rest of HEIST now falling back. Order really pushing the advantage here with Dowsu going down. Now they're just going to be trying to stagger them and buy as much time as absolutely possible here. Every second counts. Order does not want to see this go to a third and final round.
Not at the moment, but again, HEIST have got a lot of time to play with. They don't need to get too angsty about this just yet. Don't throw any ults in unnecessarily.
They just need to win one fight, Jordan. Do they even know how to play control when they're ahead?
Don't know. We'll find out. Perhaps they do.
What's the first one down? That's a big pick. What's going to come out here for all the Deadeye? The answer is nothing. So, Deadeye unfortunately wasted here.
That was a nice zone.
Yeah, it is. It is. It did buy them a little bit of time. We'll see how long it takes.
Oh, they capped it.
They did indeed. Now they have the point. Jordation forced out. You can see that Quats has swapped back across to the Ryan as well. They don't have... Oh, no!
Dubois knocking him off. And that's it. That's going to be it. HEIST are going to be able to hold. Order will not be able to recontest here. And that is going to be over to HEIST. Now we're at 1 apiece.
Over to HEIST into overtime.
I was right about at least one thing, Ben. It is going to go to 2-1.
Look, my
now
notes.
Let's see if I can...
I don't know if you can hear me crumpling up my notes because it doesn't even matter what happened for the rest of the game. It only matters what happens here, right now. Down to one last round. This is literally what happened with HEIST last week as well. Did it get to 99, 99? I'm not sure. It got very close.
Wouldn't be able to tell you. Honestly, I can't remember. It was HEIST against freshman class. I think it might have been a 2-0 for HEIST.
Jeez
regardless,
Louise.
though,
who can believe it? Who can believe it? We talked about one map. If they get one map, HEIST will be happy. Now
Maybe
they have 2 maps, and they only need 1 round.
Let's see if HEIST can pull off the steal of the century. Order and HEIST.
Oh.
Come on! Don't do this to me.
I don't know if I can deal with this.
I wonder who's paused there.
I'm getting notifications from my watch about my heart rate, Jordan.
Yeah.
It's too stressful. It's going on for too long.
We're literally living in the future if that is true.
It does. What do you mean?
So
it just says breathe. It tells you to breathe.
Make sure you're breathing, Ben. Okay, well, not much to break down about that. Both teams running the exact same composition. They've met each other on the point. We haven't seen any damage done just yet, so it's kind of a it's a
I'm not even going to talk about that.
I called that pause. I'll be honest. I called it for the suspense. We're just going to have to wait.
We're waiting.
Chill out, everybody.
I cannot believe we're at this point.
Okay.
Cannot believe that HEIST are 2-2. We're back into it. It's just this round. It's just Shrine. And Bus, again, the first one down. Order going to find the picks. They're pretty good at getting the first couple of picks here.
Yeah.
When you start off on even terms.
HEIST are going to have to play from behind once again.
They're good at it. But are they good enough now that Order is woken up?
That is a very big question indeed. Jordation not quite going to be able to land on top of that pole. Okay. Yuki's got rally already. A lot of damage done by him in the last fight by the looks of things. HEIST will decide to take the high ground. Now very trying times for HEIST.
Waiting for this engage. Traditionally, HEIST have not been great on their second attack.
Faster.
We'll see whether it's going to get used or not. 96%. Hopefully, for Locust, this one will not get eaten by the Diva. The real question is, do they have the damage to follow it up with? And Yuki's the first one down. At least he used the rally. And this will be enough, Jordan. This will be enough. There's the Graviton Surge with a self-destruct. It might do absolutely nothing. But it doesn't matter. They will win the fight, and they will capture the point. And finally, HEIST win the second fight in a control point map.
What a tempo swing for HEIST as well. Obviously, Order still has some ultimates available, but they really threw a lot in there. Rally, Earth Shatter, Transcendence, not enough to keep Order in that fight. 48%, that's a faster swing back for HEIST than what we've seen in previous control maps.
Certainly is.
And now they have a lot to hold on with as well. Double support ultimates, Bust with the Shatter, crucial as well.
Let's see who the first pick goes to. Which side? Order going to push. They're going up the right-hand side of the Shrine right now, trying to get back in there. Quat's unsure whether he wants to be in or out. Here we go. Quat's on to the point. Still does not have hits. Earth Shatter. Unfortunately for Buses, his wasn't that great. Self-destruct It's going to come through. Not going to find any kills. A lot of shields here for Heist as well. Pushing it onto the point right now. They're still there. Quat's the first one down. Duboy coming through again with that ever-present Brigitte.
There's a Graviton Surge available for Locust, but maybe at this point not so necessary. As Order have already fallen off the point. They're waiting for Quats to return. Backing away. A very nicely timed sound barrier out from Jungle Jazz to keep his team alive in that last fight. Has to be said, Locust here, the grab this time, connecting.
Successful, and the self-destruct comes through. Not going to find anyone.
Jordation's grab missed.
Quats who goes down there to bust. He's charged through, he's found the tank. And Heist again going to win another fight up to 70%. They're chasing them down. They're eliminating them one by one. Still half the team alive. That means their spawns will now not match.
This is now very, very scary for Order. They've got absolutely nothing to work with at all for this push. Nothing. They might not even build any ults up in this push. It depends how the fight does actually go. Jungle Jazz with a sound barrier. Dalsu with a Transcendence.
Yep.
There's going to be Rally even out for Heist, so much to stay alive, and that's all that Heist needs right now.
It's one attack. They literally have one last chance to bring this back, to make the reverse sweep a possibility. Loca's about to get the grab. One good grab could end this. It is available. Where's it going? Left or right? Wants to stay away from the Diva. Throws it out. It doesn't get eaten this time. Does capture Quats. Quats is alive for now. The Trance going to come out here from Dalsu. Sound barrier coming out from Unter. Merit has a trance as well. This might be enough, actually, for Order to hold on. Self-destruct going to force them off the point. Merit doing what he can. He's invulnerable for the moment, but it's Quats to go down to Dalsu. Self-destruct coming out from Order, looking for big picks. Not going to be enough for now. Heist still with the advantage. Jordation down. They're going to continue. They're going to push them through. It's up to Order to get onto the point. They can't run away this time. Adam demeched. Earthshatter comes through. This is going to go to Heist. Heist are going to beat Order,
but it's not enough.
It is not enough. There's no one else there. It's just one player on the point, and you can't win a game with a Lucio. Heist going to go 3-2 over Order, and wow, does that change things here in Group B.
That's daylight robbery, Ben. Heist have taken Order's series, and they've stolen it away. There is no way in the world that you would have come into that series expecting Heist to pick up the win, but they have managed it, and they've managed it in the very final map at the 11th hour, as they did with both of their map wins as well. Always seems to be going down to the wire here for Heist, but a fantastic victory. Now 2 3-2 victories in Contenders Season 2, and they're the team at the top of Group B.
Considering that they just took on who we thought were the best team in their group, and it went all the way through to the tiebreaker. Now when you think of freshman class from last week, I need to wonder, does Heist just not know how to win a normal game, or a freshman class much better than we thought?
Yeah, well, they're the serenity of Season 2, I think, even though it is not the players, of course, but the way that they've managed to find their wins certainly has been quite exciting indeed. I mean, for Order, just not their day. I didn't really get the feeling that they were playing particularly well on Ilios or on Hollywood, so a little bit to go back and have a look at for Order there. Getting outmatched by Heist, and for Order that is a disappointing result. There's no two questions about that, but for Heist, I mean really we should be talking about Heist because they're the ones that pulled off the victory, and for Heist, such a phenomenal result as well, and throws Group B into complete disarray now because who's going to be out in first place, we have absolutely no idea. Probably comes down to the Melbourne Mavericks versus Heist match, but then again, if Melbourne Mavericks beats Heist and then loses to Order, then it's a three-way tie.
Scissors,
could be a three-way tie for first.
Oh, look at that. Almost the reverse sweep. We started off on Ilios, and even though Heist looked like they were going to lose both of the rounds they played, they essentially reverse swept both of those rounds. A 2-0 sent us over to Hollywood again. Looks like they were going to get stopped on Objective A. They managed to get it. We came through with the Hammond, with the Hamster, with the Wrecking Ball, somehow found a way onto the payload, pushed through. They really did not have to go far once they got onto the second phase. Again, a win for Heist. It came to Hanamura. In Hanamura, look, Order looked very, very strong. In Route 66, Order looked very, very strong. And then it all came down to Nepal, Jordan. Well, they reverse swept Nepal. They were 1-0 down and picked up the next two.
Yeah, a bit of a marathon series there from Order and from Heist, but in the end it goes the way of Heist, and I feel like there is definitely another world in which Order does win that series. If you play this
Literally
series...
any other world, Jordan.
If you play this series 10 times, I don't even know if HEIST would win it again. Maybe they would. I guess we have to continue to see how HEIST develops throughout this season. They looked reasonable in week 1. They've looked better in week 2. So if they can continue that trajectory throughout this season, week 3, week 4, week 5, maybe by the time we get to playoffs, and by the time now it looks like HEIST is most assured into a position into playoffs, even only from week 2, they may be a very, very strong contender. Not that they aren't already.
Well, Jordan, after 5 awesome maps, you know there's guaranteed to be one fantastic Macca's play of the game. Let's see what it is. A McDonald's Australia play of the game between HEIST and Order. Let's have a look. We're watching Bus right now. He's going to jump in onto the point. Throws them all up in the air. Waiting for the kills. There we go. That's the one we're looking for. It was a very well-timed Graviton Surge coming out from Jordation.
Yep.
Pulled everyone off the point onto the side, which allowed them to capture it.
I'll pay that. I think that was a pretty respectable play of the game. I was wondering what it was because I saw Bus and I was like...
I was waiting.
If this is Bus's play of the game, this is literally not Bus's play of the game, by the way. But turns out it was Jordation.
Yeah.
And I would have to give that to him, yeah. Very, very nice grab. Pulling them all off the point. Wins the round. So much quicker for Order than what they might have ordinarily been able to.
Utility grab, Jordan. It's a utility grab.
Zoning grab.
Yeah.
Zoned them off the point.
Perfect. Look, for me, I want to give HEIST as a team my Macca's play of the game, to be perfectly honest. They played so well, and going with the theme of what they're called, I think they should rename themselves the Hamburglers.
Hamburglers. Yeah, definitely. That could fit with the Overwatch Contenders theme here in Australia. But look, for us, we're going to have to wait until next week to see whether or not that is going to be the roster change or the name change for HEIST.
Yeah.
But fantastic performance from them today, and very excited to see how they develop through this season.
Well, that certainly is a spanner in the works here for Group B, and our first match of the day is done and dusted. Next up, it is freshman class up against the Melbourne Mavericks. We'll see you soon.